Hi boys and girls, this is Mrs. Bridges and today is Friday and we're going to talk about one more bird and it's called the flamingo, and I found an article that we can read together. You may have chosen to print this out. It's posted on Schoology, but if you did not, you can read it right here with me in this video. The article did not have its own pictures, so I found my own little fancy flamingo, which is right here. We're going to find out lots of interesting things about flamingos today, and also there are videos posted on Schoology where you can see real live flamingos. Okay, so I'm going to have the flamingo sit by himself for a little bit so we can read this article together. And we're going to underline some important facts while we read it. So the article is called Flamingo Facts. Flamingos are pretty well known for their vibrant pink color and long legs and neck. Their appearance is very unique or different from other birds, which makes them stand out among the crowd. There is more to learn about these colorful creatures than their bubblegum pink hue, however. Read on for some fun and fascinating facts about flamingos. Try saying that 5 times fast. Fun and fascinating facts about flamingos. Woo, that's a mouthful. Okay, where do flamingos live? So flamingos can be found in a variety of habitats and adapt well to both cold and warm climates. They can live everywhere from the mountains to flatlands, as long as they have plenty of access to food and water sources. Flamingos also tend to flock together wherever they may be. Colonies in the wild will contain thousands of birds. When you go see flamingos at the zoo, you will find they're placed with 15 to 20 other flamingos at least. This is because flamingos thrive on social interaction and do not thrive if they have to live alone. So flamingos can get super lonely, okay? So let's go ahead and underline flamingos can be found in a variety of habitats and adapt well to both cold and warm climates. And also, flamingos thrive, which means they do well on social interaction. My pen is not working very well today. Okay, let's go to the next page about flamingos. They are mostly found in South America and Africa. Regardless of exactly where you find flamingos, they are water birds, so they will always be near lagoons or lakes. So I'm going to underline that they are water birds. What do they eat and drink? Flamingos mostly eat algae, larvae, and small crustaceans because they generally live near lakes, swamps, and wetlands. They also dine on shrimp and mollusks. They filter the food they eat from the muddy water below by using their unique bills. The bill of a flamingo is adapted for filter feeding, and their fleshy tongues also aid or help in the process. They seek out fresh water for drinking, although most flamingos live near lakes with high salt concentrations. Salt water. Sometimes flamingos have to get their fresh water from boiling geysers. These birds can actually drink water that is a very high temperature, even approaching the boiling point. Wow, that's pretty interesting. So let's go ahead and see what's important here. Let's see. They filter the food they eat using their unique bills. They seek out fresh water for drinking, And I thought it was really fun to learn that they actually drink water that's a very high temperature, even approaching the boiling point. Wow. And the boiling point is 212 degrees Fahrenheit, if you care to know that. That's pretty darn hot. Just like if mom or dad boils water on your stove and the water starts to boil and you see the bubbles, that is super hot. I am amazed that flamingos can drink water of that high temperature. So let's go down to what do they look like. Flamingos are usually pink in color, a hue they are quite famous for. However, they can also be found in various other shades, including crimson red, orange, and even cream or white. So I'm going to say, underline, that they can be various other shades: red, orange, cream, or white. The flamingo is well known for having extremely long legs. The legs of an adult flamingo are actually longer than the bird's body. That's interesting. Measuring anywhere from 31.5 to 49 inches, depending on the exact species. Another physical feature they are known for is that long curved neck. They have 19 elongated cervical vertebrae, so the neck can move fluidly and even twist. So vertebrae are usually what's found in a backbone. So they can really move that neck around. Elaborate neck movements are a very common and fascinating aspect of the flamingo's mobility, which means their ability to move. So let's say extremely long legs is important to underline. And the legs are actually longer than the bird's body, and their long curved neck can move fluidly, meaning very smoothly, and even twist. The flamingo's eyes are located on either side of its head. Colorful feathers cover the flamingo's body, except for the bill and the scaled part of the legs and feet. These feathers are actually protective, keeping the skin from getting damaged. They are also useful for streamlining flight for the birds. Believe it or not, flamingos can actually fly better than most people realize. It is a very common misconception that flamingos do not fly, but they have the ability to fly 100 miles a day between different locations for the sake of finding food. They also take off very quickly and fly up to 35 miles per hour. That is interesting. So let's underline, they fly up to 35 miles per hour. That is so interesting to know. I'm not sure if I've ever seen a flamingo fly. Maybe next time I go to the zoo, I'll be able to look for that. Believe it or not, the notable pinkish color of the flamingo is due to the bird's diet. The algae flamingos eat consist of alpha and beta carotenoid pigments. Flamingos are actually born with a white or grayish tone, which changes over time to this diet rich in carotenoids. That's a fancy word, but just know that when they're born, they're white or gray, and that changes over time because of things they eat, called carotenoids. Believe it or not, flamingos shed and replace their body and wing feathers at very irregular intervals of time is what they mean. This could happen twice a year or once every 2 years, depending on the particular breed's breeding cycle. Believe it or not, the flamingo's ankle is located halfway up the leg. Oh my gosh, boys and girls, that is interesting. The ankle is up their leg halfway? I'm going to underline that. Imagine if your ankle was located halfway up your leg. That would be like your ankle is where your knee is. That's interesting. Believe it or not, when the flamingo is born, they have grayish eyes. This does not change until they become adults, and then they have yellow eyes. Oh my gosh, I did not know flamingos as an adult have yellow eyes, and when they're born, they're grayish. And finally, believe it or not, the largest colony of flamingos contains 1 million members and can be found in East Africa. That is amazing. Okay, very good. So now you've learned more about flamingos, and we'll bring him back. We know that not all flamingos are pink. However, here is my pink flamingo. And what I want you to do now is to go to the discussion board and type at least 2 facts that you thought were fun to learn about flamingos. Thanks for listening.